First time we are hearing and formally announcing Bill Belichick as UNC's new head football coach. This has created a lot of buzz across the nation the last several days, but now it is official. The Board of Trustees voted yes on that this morning. Board of Governors will be voting a little later today. We heard a couple of interesting answers to a lot of questions many people have. When he was asked why come to a college after such a storied career in the NFL, Belichick simply said, beats working. He also said, I didn't come here to leave, when he was asked if this would set him up to go back to the NFL. You may know that his father spent some time at Carolina as the assistant football coach there from 1953 to 1955. So there is some legacy for him as well. And what he said was, he was always told that his first words were beat Duke. Very simply, just beat Duke. He said that he hopes to build young athletes, build young student athletes and young men. He says they'll be pros in all areas. He wants to develop good kids and good football players. He wants it to become a pro program that is really just kind of prepping players in terms of terminology and technique. You may also know that his son is the Washington's defensive coordinator as well. There are already reports that his son is going to be joining his father after one season at UW. So certainly there was a lot of meaning for this move for Bill Belichick to come back to Carolina. And let's go now to Trey Miles, who has more now. So a lot of answers coming out of that, and I love our Chiron and our graphics. Bill to the hill. Print the shirt, Trey.
Yeah, right. The hoodie, that was a really good addition that we were not expecting here at this presser today. You saw Bubba Cunningham having some fun with it, coming up here with a sports jacket with no sleeves. It feels like everybody is just embracing this brand new move by the University of North Carolina. The first guy that had to embrace this new move was Bill Belichick, who we just heard from at length. I don't know if his pressers are going to be that long and model Mac Brown's every single time that we have a press conference with him, and I'm not expecting that. But what we just got there gave us a lot of insight on the program that he is getting ready to run, and actually was actually pretty funny. He made a couple of jokes there, saying how how he likes to ramble during press conferences. That's something we never saw from Coach Belichick while the head coach of the New England Patriots. But here at the University of North Carolina, things may be different. It seems like his mindset is already changing and turning a little bit. People said that they could not see Bill Belichick walking into living rooms with recruits. He answered that head on. He said, yeah, I'd love to come in and talk to recruits and talk to 17 and 18-year-old kids and try to get them to this university. It seems like to me that Bill Belichick is all in on this move. There was another question asked if people were worried about him going to the NFL. He said, I didn't come here to leave. He came here to stay. And the final question that I asked him is how much did this university play a part, as opposed to some other traditional powerhouses? Why not a place like Florida? Why not another place that has had massive success as far as college football? He said this place was special, obviously the ties with his father, and the fact that, he wanted to be here in Chapel Hill. He talked about recruiting here a lot and sending his assistants to other places and other schools that he did not name, but him taking the Carolina trips. So this is obviously a very, very special place for him, Amber. He also announced that Freddie Kitchens is going to be the first coach. Freddie Kitchens is actually the tight ends coach on Mac Brown's staff. He is the interim head coach right now for the bowl game, the Fenway Bowl. Bill Belichick announced him as his first addition to his staff. Freddie Kitchens, a long-time NFL coach, so it looks like Belichick is going to start blending his staff with some former NFL guys, probably a bunch of former NFL guys, along with some college talent, like you said, like his son Steven. Amber, I'm kind of blown away by what we saw and the fact that this is actually happening, and that press conference just happened. I'm still, we have a lot more questions, but we got our first insight right there today.
Trey, I thought he was really candid in a lot of his answers. They were very simple and to the point. There's been so much speculation, and he really said, I always wanted to coach college football, and the opportunity just didn't present itself. He was very busy with his very successful NFL career, and at 72, he just said, it beats working. But as we talked earlier, this really just may be the start of a trend across university athletics with this move as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, if I could just say, he was very candid. I mean, I haven't seen Bill Belichick like that. It feels like we got the Monday Night Football version of Bill Belichick and not the New England Patriots press conference version of Bill Belichick. But to your point, Bubba Cunningham said it himself in his opening remarks. This is a new age of college athletics, and they are trying something different. They're bringing in a GM, Michael Lombardi, who's worked with Bill Belichick in the past, back in the 90s when they both worked together with the Cleveland Browns. They are going to try their best to model this just like the NFL model. They want to have a pro personnel department, which will be the transfer portal. They want to have a high school department, which will essentially be what college scouting was in the NFL. So they are trying their best to model this thing and to usher in a new age of college athletics and college football, if you will.
Yeah, I actually wrote down that quote from Athletic Director Bubba Cunningham. He said the future of college athletics is changing, and we want to be on the forefront of that. And I would certainly say they are with this big move and this big announcement today. And what an exciting time for high school football players that are, looking to elevate their next steps. All right, Trey, so much to talk about. Can't wait to see you a little later here at 4. We'll check back in. We're going to wrap this up with Michael Perchik now and get his take after learning all of this. A big day, Michael.
A very big day. Coach Belichick even joked where some of his answers went a little bit longer that he's known to ramble. He spoke for about 45 minutes, really breaking down both his vision of the program, why he chose Carolina, certainly the ties with his father. He said he'd always wanted to be around the college game, just never worked out. That's largely due to his success at the NFL level for so many years, 8 Super Bowl championships. He mentioned, his connection with Lawrence Taylor, of course, a Tar Heel great. He's been, called one of Belichick's favorite NFL players, the two working together with the Giants throughout the 80s, winning those 2 Super Bowls together out in East Rutherford. So certainly he's a student of the game. He's someone who's very excited, and coming up at 4, we're going to break down what he's learned in his year away from the sidelines. A really interesting answer on that point.
All right, Michael, thank you. I know you've been on this all day. We'll see you at 4 with more. And we will check back in with you here on Eyewitness News at 4 o'clock with much more on this historic day in college sports.